Hello, hello. Hey, Jammers. Welcome to the Global Game Jam Singapore opening ceremony. My name is Oka and I'll be your MC for today. Again, I thank all of you for joining us today. And before we officially commence the 2022 Singapore Global Game Jam, we'll just cover crucial information that you should know before jamming. Firstly, you can scan the QR code that you see right over here to ask questions to us. So this QR code, if you're on mobile, will lead you to this platform called Slido. And if you are on, let's say, a desktop, you can just visit www.slido, and enter hashtag CJ2022SCSC. That's right, that is CJ and not GJ, right? GJ was unfortunately taken, and we have to make do with the second best possible option, which is CJ2022SCSC, right? So again, do ask us questions. We love questions, and we want to be able to answer and clarify any doubts that you may have. So go over to Slido, ask the question, and at the end, there will be a Q&A session where we clarify all the questions that you may have. Now, what is going to happen from now until 6 p.m.? We'll be doing a quick introduction to our jam and then run through some of the important things you have to keep in mind for this event, including how to submit your game on the site, what to prepare for the final presentation, and some helpful resources that we have gathered and garnered. Ending off with the official keynote video, where the theme will be reviewed, followed by a Q&A session and answering all the questions that you send in. So stay till the end. The slide that you are looking at right now will also be shared on our Discord server after the presentation, along with any key information that we have mentioned during the presentation. So fear not, if you have missed some of the information, we will be posting the slides onto the Discord server. Right. So what is a global game jam, right? For those of you who are not really well versed in the global game jam, I would like to introduce the global game jam. And before I do that, I also would like to thank our collaborators and supporters. This Global Game Jam Singapore. We are collaborating with NTU, especially School of Computer Science and Engineering, and for NUS, it's supported by NUS GGJ, NUS Game Development Group. So thank you SCSC for collaborating with us and NUS GDG for supporting us. This jam could not have been done without your support. So appreciate it. Now with that, we can finally go on to what the game jam is. So game jam is just to give some background information to all our first-time jammers here, right? In game jams, participants are generally challenged to develop a game based on a theme, which we will be revealing at the end of today's presentation in the video. So stay tuned until the end. And within a fixed time duration, 48 hours, this game can be of any medium, be it digital video game or analog tabletop game. You can come up with any game that you like. It's a game jam. In particular, our global game jam has a few distinctive features compared to other events or hackathons. Instead of walking towards a prize, GGJ SG is non-competitive and aims to cultivate a spirit of experimentation, collaboration, and learning amongst game development enthusiasts in Singapore. And SG GGJ this year is also fully virtual. You know why, right? Why we have to go fully virtual due to the ongoing COVID situation. And today's jam will be 48 hours long, starting from 6 p.m. today and ending off on Sunday, 6 p.m. Singapore time, SGD, that is GMT +8. Right, so here are a few key timings that you should take note for the Global Game Jam Singapore. 6 p.m. right now or soon, 40 more minutes later, is when the jam kickstart with the opening ceremony. And this year theme will be revealed near the end of the presentation. And Global Game Jam SG will officially start. The next keystone event for you to meet is tomorrow at 3 p.m., where all teams are expected to create a placeholder project on the GGJ website. More information on this will be given down later in the presentation. We then recommend teams to start submitting your games from Sunday at 3 p.m. as the website can be slow, right? When many people start to upload their game, the website start to lag a bit. So at 3 p.m., start to upload and share your games onto the site that you have created on the Global Game Jam. And the final deadline to submit is Sunday at 4:30 p.m. Right, and my apology, I forgot to change the slide. So this is the slide that I was talking about. You can take a look at it again while I continue on. So after 5 p.m. on Sunday, we will start the final presentation where each group will be given up to 3 minutes to showcase what they have done, and keep in mind the brevity of your presentation. We will also discuss more details about the presentation later down in my sharing session. So GGJ SG 2022 will officially come to a close on Sunday at 6:30 p.m. Right. So next one, bear with me, right, as I go through this code of conduct, because this is extremely, extremely important to keep in mind for the well-being of yourself and all the other jammers. Global Game Jam is about bringing communities together through collaboration, innovation, and experimentation. Discrimination of any kind will not be tolerated. This includes, but it's not limited to, xenophobia, racism, sexism, homophobia, and transphobia. We are extremely committed to making this a safe environment for everyone. So do alert the organizers if you observe anyone violating the above and you feel unsafe. Do alert us. We are there for you. And you can review the code of conduct on the Global Game Jam official site. And we also have a link to it on our Discord server as well. Right. Next up, you need to keep in mind, right, the Global Game Jam content policy. This is important and is regard to licensing of the game that you have come up with. All projects under Global Game Jam SG are to be licensed using the Attribution Non-Commercial Share Alike 4.0 Common License, Creative Common License. What does it mean for you? This means that jammers, you are expected to share your games, assets, and source code with the GGJ at the end of Game Jam, and all files necessary to compile and run the game should also be submitted. Third-party software or libraries may be excluded, but a README should be included inside your submission with a clear instruction on the dependencies and other software that you are using. While the original team retains the right to the game, Global Game Jam retains an original copy that others can download, modify, or distribute for non-commercial purposes. Again, the information can be found on the Global Game Jam site as well as our Discord server. We will post the link to it. Now, before I move on, right, I just want to do a quick check to ensure that all of you have done your part of the registration. There are 3 steps to do the registration. First, you need to make sure that at least one person in your group has filled the registration form on the right. So the QR code on the right that you see right now, scan it, or if you're on desktop again, type the URL https ggj.2022.ml/form. The form got cut off. So it's a /form. So what you have to do is go and visit that website and make sure that at least one person in your group fill this up. And second, have all members join the Jam site itself using the same link, the same QR code. So number 1 is at least one must register, maybe your team leader. And then step 2, it's all your team member have to register as well. And step number 3, it's all member, everybody jamming should join our Discord with the QR code on the left-hand side. And if you're on desktop, it's GGJ SG 2022.ml/Discord. So go on to the Discord there and get verified. So when you get verified, we can assign a tag to you, and then you'll be able to participate in the rest of the channels that we have created. So make sure you get verified, and instruction for verification are also on the Discord server that we have set up. Right. So with that, I can move on to the next part. So for the next part, how to create a placeholder project on the GGA website and how to submit the game. If I read through that, I'm going to bore you to death, right? So what I will do instead, again, all these slides are posted onto our Discord at the end. So I believe you will also be in the Discord. If you are not, do join the Discord again. So I will flash, for the sake of all those who have not joined Discord yet, I'll flash this slide for, say, about 10 more seconds. At least you join the Discord first so that you have access to this slide. So join the Discord first, and then you can walk backward as well if you have not. So I will leave it there for about 5 more seconds, and then I'll move on to the next one. Right, I believe you guys have managed to at least scan the QR code or enter the link, so I moved on. So what I was saying is this: if I were to go through this, it's going to take a long time. And I know you are excited to watch what the theme this year is all about. So I will skip this. I will put all this information up onto our Discord server. So move on how to create a placeholder, how to submit your game. Everything will be in the slide that we are sharing. So this one I need to go through, which is what you should be expecting in the final presentation. So the final presentation is going to start at 5 p.m. on a Sunday, half an hour after the final submission of your games. So here is how it will work. Each group participating in the presentation will be given 5 minutes to show off your game. What you present, it's up to you, right? Feel free to talk about what inspired your game, or a cool gameplay mechanic that you are proud of, or show off your art assets. we highly recommend present during the closing ceremony. So in order to participate in the presentation, you have to do an opt-in. On a Saturday morning, which is tomorrow morning, we will be releasing a form where you can register to participate in the presentation. So if you feel like, hey, I want to do a presentation at the closing ceremony, watch out for the form, fill in the information in the form, and you sort of opt in so that you give the organizer, you let us know that you want to participate. So then we'll be able to schedule it for you accordingly. We will also provide guideline to help you out with your presentation. Again, everything will be in the Discord server. And please note that the registration is going to be on a first come, first serve basis. And if you did not manage to get a slot, but you really want to present and showcase your work, right? So fear not. We also love to help you show off your game by posting about it on our YouTube channel. And we'll release more detail again during the jam itself. So where to find help and resources for the jam? We have made a compilation of all the things that you can make use during the jam itself. We're going to talk about some of the helpful resources for the game jam. And this QR code right here will lead to our Jammer's manual. So this Jammer manual contains a lot of information, is full of tips and tricks for the jam, and contains a ton of helpful links for free to use programs, for tutorials, and for assets as well. So if you need help doing the jam itself, we have several advisors available in the Discord with expertise in area like design and coding that are there to help you out. So check out the channels under the consultation category in our Discord server during the jam, and feel free to consult them for advice or troubleshooting. But we also have a hashtag request for access channel as well. So for when your group need a little extra something to spice up your game, perhaps your group is all programmers, but you would like to have, say, a title screen illustration. So you can ask people who have volunteered to help create the assets in that channel. But please, guys, make sure to read our rules and regulation and guidelines for the mention in the channel before posting. And of course, please be respectful of the advisor. They are taking their precious time and volunteering to help you guys out. So I believe we have that all established. And also the Global Game Jam itself as a Discord server as well. So if any of you want to discuss games and meet with jammers from all other sites over the world, the global version, feel free to join the Discord, scan the QR code, or type in the discord.gg/GGJ URL and chat away with our members over at the Global Game Jam Discord server. So that is the one right here. And then, okay, you guys are probably bored of me, right? I've been talking for, say, about 10 to 12 minutes. And it's now time to change the speaker a little bit. So our next speaker is an interesting person, right? So this person, name is a she. I don't want to reveal the name yet. She's a Singapore-based sound designer for video games and also the co-founder of Imba Interactive with about 9 years in the industry. So she has experience of heading a startup, and she's developed a project management skills with a flair for organization and execution while maintaining welfare of co-workers and staff. So I believe you'll be able to gain insights from her later on. So I invite Gwen to do the sharing. Gwen, please.
Hey everyone. Yeah, I might give me a moment. Let me just share my screen. Share sound, stereo. Microsoft Edge. So sorry for the delay. But okay, in the meantime, let me just speak. Okay. The purpose of my presence here is I'm actually representing the Singapore Games Association. So the Singapore Games Association is the primary trade association of Singapore for games. Let me just share some windows. Okay, are you able to see my screen? Sorry.
Yep. All is good on my end, Gwen.
Okay, great. So it says, hi, I'm Gwen, right? I'm not showing some other weird screen.
Nope.
Okay, awesome. Okay, thanks everyone for your patience, and I'm sorry I'm going to take a lot more time before the theme is revealed. So, yes, introduction about myself. I'm Gwen. I've been in industry for 9 to 10 years. I love games like most of you here. Stardew Valley, It Takes Two, Ooblets. It Takes Two is really good, by the way. Y'all should try it out. And as introduced by Okar, I'm also the co-founder of Inbound Interactive, a game audio studio that does sound design, music, audio implementation, voiceovers for games. So we are a small company. We've been around. I think this year is our ninth year as well. But I'm here representing Singapore Games Association. So Singapore Games Association, or SGGA, is the primary trade association for gaming in Singapore. So we cover both games development and esports, and we're supported by three government agencies: Enterprise Singapore, IMDA, and Singapore Tourism Board. So this is the EXCO members, and we have myself, and then there's Alicia Lee. So for those of you who remember Game Start, maybe a couple of years back, which is one of Singapore's top B2C gaming events, Elephant is behind Game Start. There's Jave, who's the founder of one of Singapore's top esports team, RSG. There's Brian, who is the founder of Usprit Games, a premium games publisher. We have Michael from Ubisoft, Karen from Facebook, Joyce, who used to be from Unity, now from N1, and Sean Tain from RP. So we have quite a diverse group of people that are in our exco right now, ranging from indie to AAA to esports. Our main vision and mission here is to really build a sustainable ecosystem for gaming in Singapore, and we want to develop world-class professionals. We want to build an educational pipeline and raise the profile of made in Singapore games on the international stage. So how do we do that? I think one of the important things is we help to build bridges. So a lot of times when people are looking for people to hire, companies are looking for people to hire, people are looking to work in companies, we help to bridge that gap via internships or recommendations. And then whenever there are overseas companies, they're looking to work Singaporean companies, we help to make introductions as well. Communication and amplification. So for this, whenever there's a Made in Singapore game that's published or wins awards or publishes a really cool article, we help to amplify that on our social media channels. We have networking opportunities where we get game devs together to meet up and just chit chat or even talk about work. And then we have an industry database. So if you visit our website now, and a lot of it is work in progress, but it will be completed soon, is that we have a database of every single games company in Singapore and a Made in Singapore game. And we also run workshops and seminars, so capability development, accreditation, and training. And last but not least, we also work with the governments to talk about policy changes and ways that we can improve the games industry in Singapore. So some of the events that we do focus groups, roundtables, fireside chats, and well, because of COVID, we actually had not had our Game Dev Drink Up, which is our monthly social, for a couple of years already. But just nice, now that you're here today, February, we are bringing it back. Respecting the COVID rules, of course, and we have rebranded it to Drink Together. So later I'll pass you some links that you can visit, and if you would like to meet some of our fellow game devs, feel free to come down for our Drink Together. And we also have Indie Soapbox, where people that have made indie games, they haven't had the opportunity to speak and present their game before, have a chance to present their game to the public. Our biggest free event is the SGJA Industry Day. So we run this every July, and it's 1 to 2 days event where it's meant to bridge the gap between schools and industry. So a lot of times students or fresh graduates, they may not know what it's really like to work in the industry, and this is when a lot of industry experts come down and share tips and tricks on, for example, how to build your portfolio, how to interview. There's even a portfolio showcase. If some of you have FYPs that are games and you want to present it, the SGGA Industry Day is a really good platform for you to do so. And we do trade shows as well. So recently you might have heard of Gamescom Asia, which is a really huge conference and convention based in Singapore. Originally, the brand was the main event is in Germany. So last year, we had the Asian version of it. And it's really, really important to have a global brand in Singapore to attract a lot of people that are interested in gaming, whether they're investors or developers, to network with our local talent. So we had the Singapore Pavilion where we showcase some of our best game companies in Singapore. Part of association work is also discussing issues and matters and sharing information and resources with other countries. So the association has good relationship with the other Southeast Asian associations and beyond. So we often do maybe monthly meetups to talk about the pain points and challenges of the games industry here and what we can do to overcome them. other events that we do is we get our sponsors or members to collaborate and do talks. So, for example, in collaboration with Huawei and Unity, we actually had a tech talk seminar at their HQ. And then we also have esports 101 talks. We also support different game jams, such as Rising Sea, which was a game jam 2-3 years ago that was a joint collaboration between the Southeast Asian countries. And of course, the Heritage Game Jam, which I will talk a bit about in a bit. Okay, so the Heritage Game Jam happens every year and it happens in Q3 or Q4. So this jam focuses on making art games that are meant to express your Singaporean identity. And every year, of course, like Global Game Jam, there's a theme. So last year, our theme was Everyday Heroes, and people made wonderful games that explored their identity as a Singaporean and what they define as a everyday hero, especially during the COVID period. So that's the jam. And usually for the winners of the game jam, we will exhibit them, whether it's a virtual exhibition or hint, hint, this year it might actually be a physical exhibition. So keep your eyes peeled for that. So these are some of the resources that you can head down to. So there's sgja.org.sg if you want to find out more about us, especially if you want to or you intend to join the games industry as a professional and you want to get resources, you want to get networks. Do visit our website and do like our Facebook page as well as join our Facebook group. A lot of the events are being held in the Facebook group. Like I know a lot of people don't really use Facebook anymore, but this is the exception and we are considering moving to other platforms. And of course, don't forget to visit heritagegamejam.com to check out the past winners and the past games that have been submitted. Lots of wonderful stuff. So before I end off, actually, I want to talk a bit about my own personal Global Game Jam experience. So, I mean, despite being chairperson of Singapore Games Association, which sounds very big and scary, right? But actually, I'm just a regular game developer like all of you, and I do enjoy my game jams. And I've started jamming since 2017. So in 2017, the Global Game Jam was held in RP. So for context, actually every year before COVID hit, the game jams have been held in Republic Polytechnic. And then Facebook came on board. So there were 2 Global Game Jam venues. And last year, Virtuos hosted the online one. And this year, I'm really, really happy that this new group of people, you know, Ting Ting especially approached us for advice and we were happy to help them out, and I hope there's more to come in the future. So 2017 was held in RP. 2018 we actually went to Taiwan to jam because there was Taipei Game Show. And my recommendation is that if you ever get to jam physically, try to jam in a completely different country because the experience is like very, very different and it's very fun, especially when you have language barriers and all that kind of stuff. Then you get to like really express your game design ideas in methods you never thought possible. And then I took part in 2019 in Facebook, and 2020 finally before the COVID shutdown occurred in RP again. So I think what I really, really love about game jams in general is because we finally get to work on games where we don't have to worry about it being a business. I mean, we are talking about people that have been in the industry for a while. Sometimes, like when you make games, you need to have business, you need to have monetization and finances in mind. And game jams is really a nice place to do your game as a craft, as an art, and use it to express yourself and experiment. So I feel like no matter what, whether you're a student or professional, right, game jams is a great way to fall in love with games all over again. So wonderful thing also is that it doesn't matter what your process is. You have 3 days, just do whatever you want, you know, and of course you make friends and have fun. So before I end off, I want to share something that is quite funny. And one major thing of game jams is that it's always fun for me, and I always try to push myself out of my comfort zone. So you all should know that Global Game Jam have diversifiers, right? Just take in as many diversifiers as you can and really, really challenge yourself, and you would never know what you would create. So for me, this is a song because I am a sound designer. I don't usually compose, but I wanted to push myself out of the comfort zone to compose a genre that I'm completely unfamiliar with and completely unrelated to game audio. So one of the diversifiers was to create game music that completely does not fit the genre of your game. So I decided to do Chinese pop. Don't worry, there are subtitles. So without further ado, let me just play it. You'll be able to see the gameplay inside as well. Let me know if you can't hear it.
当年在小学我没读好，特别是中文的期末考，难怪我华语是这么难教。今天的我非常后悔，令我父母亲失望，我只好乖乖去工作。我要做个好男教，我要做个好男教。早上好，请不要开除我，我保证尽量地努力。现在你知道为什么这些的歌词真寂寞，人生的价值只是这样落。我告诉自己没关系，这只是我的好命运，大家都要低头按照指示。我要做个好男教，我要做个好男教。早上好，请不要开除我，我保证尽量地努力。
Walao eh.
Yeah, so thanks for your patience. I hope that was not too offensive. So I think the point that I'm trying to make is that have fun at Global Game Jam. Use it a way to express yourself. This game, by the way, was about the koel. Of course, everybody loves the uwu bird. They have a task and duty to wake up people on time, and if you don't wake them up on time, like you just lose points. And if you wake them up too early, they get pissed off and hurl insults at you. So how I as an artist interpreted that game was like the need to wake up. You know that the uwu sound evokes nightmares for some people, right? Because we think about like the school days, you know, that that bird signifies that I have to wake up early for school, and then as you grow older it signifies you have to wake up early for work. And then I started thinking about, okay, then this is about the daily grind of work and all that. So I started to think very nihilistic thoughts about work and stuff like that. So I just decided to make this song to convey that. And yeah, that's the product of it. So I think for those of you in the chat that's asking about how I managed to record this. Yeah, so this was recorded in Facebook Office. Obviously, it was very noisy because apart from people discussing, there were also people sleeping and there was a lot of snoring going around. So I had to find like an alleyway, and I took some of the couches and beanbags and stacked them up on top of each other, and recorded and created my own little vocal booth. So I wrote the lyrics and recorded the song and did the production, I guess, during the time of the game jam. It was pretty fun. Yeah. So yeah, I think that's it. And thank you so much and have fun. Go and jam, go and make friends. So I will hand this back to Okar.
Right. Thank you so much, Gwen. When I first heard the Uber song, right, I had to make sure that it is not my neighborhood Uber. I was like, wow, why so loud? Then I realized that, oh, it's from the video.
Yes, yes. It's always a Singapore mascot.
Yes. So thank you so much again. And
Thank you for
guys,
having me.
please do check out the website sgga.waju.sg and follow their Instagram. Follow their Facebook and join their group if you are very interested and keen in joining the game development society or want to belong to the group and find out more about what is it that take them, what entices them, what is their passion and all. So now, there you have it, folks. Finally, it's time to review what we all have been waiting for. It's time to watch the GGJ keynote video and announce the theme for this year. So without further ado, let's go to the video. Video, please.
Hey Global Game Jam, I'm Will Goldstone from Unity, and I've been with Unity for a long time. Since 2011. That's maybe too long. Anyway, many things have changed in the games industry since then, but one thing that doesn't change, that's really, really cool, that I love, is that every year there's even more games to play made by many creators just like yourselves. At Unity, we believe the world is a better place with more creators in it, and the Global Game Jam offers creativity in its purest form. It's a time and a place where people can come together and make something real. New creators can learn to make their very first game, and experienced folks like many of you can learn a new skill or simply try out an idea that you haven't had time for before. If you choose Unity for your project, aside from our incredible community of people there to back you up, there's also our Discord server, where we have a dedicated channel full of resources to help you along with Global Game Jam. So enough waffle from me, go and make something that you love, because that's all that really matters.
Hi, I'm Kate Edwards. I'm the Executive Director of the Global Game Jam. And whether you're new to the Global Game Jam or you're a veteran of the event, I would like to welcome you aboard to Global Game Jam 2022. You know, it's been another year of ups and downs and starts and stops, but our collective passion for games and game creation has persisted because here we are once again ready to take part in the world's largest game creation event. And so, you know, every event has faced challenges during the pandemic. The Global Game Jam is certainly not alone in that. Like many other events, we've had to learn how to pivot and keep evolving and how we organize and how we deliver the event. But, you know, I'm frankly just super excited that we're here and that we're still able to do this in whatever format you happen to be in. You know, the Global Game Jam's mission is to empower individuals worldwide to learn, experiment, and create together through the medium of games. And to that end, I would love to thank and appreciate all of our sponsors who generously support this mission. And obviously, a huge thank you to our amazing volunteers whose talent makes Global Game Jam possible. The executive committee, the regional organizers, the site organizers, the streamers, everybody who lends a hand to help out, no matter if you're in a live site, a virtual site, a hybrid site, any of you who have volunteered any time whatsoever, thank you so much, because truly this wouldn't happen without you. And I think what's great about it is it represents the biggest power of Global Game Jam, which is about you, the community. So we are so glad that you're joining us, whether you're at a live site or virtual or hybrid, whatever the format you're doing this year. Thank you so much for choosing to be a part of this community. And thank you for supporting each other as we all hope for better times in 2023 and beyond. So I ask you to stay vigilant, stay safe. We hope you have a fantastic Global Game Jam, and we cannot wait to see the amazing games you're going to create this year. Thank you.
Hello, brave game jammer. I'm Tanya X Short, the captain of Kitfox Games. And I love jams because we can make whatever we want, right? We don't have to do market research. I don't have to pitch anybody, well, other than my collaborators. I don't have to have a budget. It's just me and these people I love working with, and we make whatever is exciting to us. You get into the flow of creative collaboration, and that's probably the best feeling when it works. So here it goes. My advice, solid advice, my tricks to winning the game jam in your heart. One, know what your goal is. Are you learning something new? Are you innovating? Are you making something really polished? Decide very explicitly before you start what kind of thing you want to do, like why you're doing this. And talk about it with your team if you have one. You know, sometimes I see myself as a brave warrior or a cutting-edge scientist or an insightful artist. And really, you're all of those things when you're game jamming, because you're doing something really brave. You're making something new, and you're putting yourself out there, and you're doing it semi-publicly if you're with Global Game Jam. So good job on that. I highly, highly recommend that you follow the patented Tanya X Short Game Jam timeline that I've used for many, many years, and it's very, very helpful, which helps with scope without doing too much, project management details. On day one, you and your team solidify what are you making, and you get the project and the version control all set up, and then, you know, if you can, the stretch goal for the first day is to get that first little interaction working. Day two, you make the game playable from start to finish in a basic way. On day three, it's much easier to just have polish and bug fixing and maybe adding a little more content here and there, start menu, credits, sound effects, particle effects, you know, that sort of thing. Oh, one more thing. I do find that I do my best work when I've slept well and I've eaten well. But I'm not going to judge you if you decide not to. I mean, each person has their own preferred workflow. Just please make sure you're not a jerk to your teammates or your loved ones, your family. As a result, you know, if you're taking it out on them, is not cool. So, and keep in mind, if you overwork, you might feel resentful that other people don't overwork. So maybe it's just easiest to like take it easy, get a lot of sleep, do your best work. But you know, you're going to do what you do. The important thing is that I believe in you. I really do. I don't know you probably, but I'm always inspired seeing what people make for every game jam, but especially Global Game Jam. I love that it's across the world, and I love that everybody has their own experiences and their own inspirations. I hope you're proud of what you make, and that this act of creation teaches you something new about yourself. Look inside yourself and ask what you have to say. It's a new year, for better or worse, and it's a new jam, and we have a new opportunity to be joyful. So, good luck.
Hi, I'm Chase Bethia. I'm a professional freelance composer, technical audio designer for video games, and it's an honor to welcome you to the 2022 Global Game Jam. You may not realize it right now, but the jam you're about to take part in is about to change your life in some kind of good way, even if you're a returning jammer. You don't have time to build the perfect game, but you do have time to experiment and test a lot. The game will tell you what it likes and what it doesn't. It has a pulse, a flow, a feel, rhythm. Game Jams is not about crunch. It's about learning your limits. Yes, you have a brief amount of time to make something, but you only put the pressure you have upon yourself. You should be entering the jam with the goal of making a fun experience with friends in hopes other friends will enjoy. It's okay to be competitive, but there is a line. This isn't the time to learn about how to burn out, but to practice pacing, strengthen communication and critical listening skills, and quality assurance with assets for context. This is where you learn so many things. If you're thinking about making game development a career, you can take this opportunity to see what goes into making one. At the end of the jam, you'll be able to assess if you wish to pursue it or have it be a hobby. Game jams should be perceived to build the best starting point. Create to play. And if you get more done or even finish the game your team set out to make, then that's icing on the cake. Game jams make opportunities. Over the years, we've seen so many successful game titles that were born from Global Game Jam, such as Keep Talking and Nobody Explodes and How to Do It, and more. Some games have spawned successful gaming studios. Those studios have created jobs for people that want to get their start in the gaming industry, earn a living, build a career, and do what they love to do, make games. I owe most of my career to game jams. If it wasn't for these, I would have struggled a lot more to get a portfolio started and even get work in the industry. I still game jam to this day because it's the best way to tap into my childhood creativity. Remember, to keep the fun alive, keep your mind open and ideas will flow naturally. Lose yourself in the jam. Be kind, stay hydrated and rested. Make stuff. It doesn't need to be perfect. It just needs to get started. And once it does, it'll have a pulse, a rhythm, and a flow. And off you go. Have a great jam session.
Hi everyone, my name is Elaine Gomez. I am a game designer at Brass Lion Entertainment, which is a studio focused on creating worlds that center on Black, brown, and other marginalized characters, cultures, and stories. I'm also proud to be one of the 6 co-founders of Latinx in Gaming and give developer-related support to the organization's many activations. I really wanted to share my short message with you all without reading my notes, but I don't want to screw it up, so please pardon me as I read along. I've had the privilege to be able to build my career around things that I stand up for and I'm passionate about. I'm so honored to have a few minutes to share a short message with you, and I want to thank Tim Collins and the Global Game Jam team for giving me this opportunity. I thought quite long and hard about what to share. There are so many things to touch on, like not overscoping, not forgetting to eat and staying hydrated, stepping away from the computer and getting moving, or not burning yourself out and taking care of your mental health. But instead of telling you things you shouldn't do, I wanted to focus on something I think you should do, and that is to grow. Challenging yourself in a way to make this Global Game Jam an experience to look back on and to be proud of something that you were able to accomplish that you normally wouldn't be able to do. Growing can take many forms, And it is especially does not mean perfection. If you take on something that you've always wanted to learn or wanted to do, and it's your first time doing it, cut yourself some slack. Give yourself some grace. There's room for failure because failing is not a bad thing. Your art may not be beautiful, your scripting may not be clean, your designs may not be super polished, but it's functional, and that is something to be excited about. This is one of the things that I love about designing in game jams. You have limitations, and finding ways to use them to your advantage can really make for interesting problem solving. And growing doesn't just apply to development, it also applies to social skills. It can be uncomfortable to work with people you don't know, and working on a team with several people when you're used to working on your own. Find something that works for you and that is best for you, but use the internet to your advantage to make communication easier. I encourage y'all to create something you've never made before, something out of your comfort zone. If it's a new genre, a type of mechanic that you normally wouldn't, type of story that you have not been able to tell, go for it. Maybe you'll be surprised to find something new to enjoy about making games. What I'm saying may sound like cliche, happy-go-lucky message, but the reality is that growing is difficult. It's not comfortable. You will get frustrated, and sometimes the thing that you're trying to make is just not going to work for the time that you have. If you catch yourself spending too much time on something, take a step back, regroup, and find an alternative that will work for you and your team. Good luck, have fun, and enjoy this year's Global Game Jam. Bye!
Well, there you have it, guys. Our theme for this year is duality. So, what comes to your mind when you see the word duality? To me, when I first saw that duality, right, there's this famous game that come to my mind or pop up in my mind, and the game is none other than Fire Boy and Water Girl Duality, right? I'm pretty sure you guys have some other game that you have in mind as well. But yeah, that was the theme for this year. And I hope you are enjoying or you have enjoyed the theme as much as I did. And if you are sharing your, pictures or artifacts that you have produced halfway on social media, such as Instagram, Facebook, Discord, wherever you want to share, try to use the hashtag GGJ SG and we will share it on our Insta stories as well. We'll re-forward it, right? So again, use the hashtag GGJSG22 on Instagram for your work in progress post, and we will again share it reshare it on our Instagram story. Now, before we officially end the opening ceremony, we are going to move on to Jingting and Lian to do a quick Q&A with the question that you guys have sent in on our Slido, as well as some of the questions we may pick up from the YouTube chat as well. So Jingting and Lian, welcome.
Hello. Okay, hey everyone. So I'm Jing Ting.
And I'm Lian.
Okay, so we're two of the main organizers for GGJ SG 2022. And thanks for attending the opening ceremony today. So we've managed to pick up some questions off our Slido and the YouTube chat. So we'll get straight into answering them.
Yeah, if there's any questions that we haven't answered here but you want to know about, you can check our FAQ document on our Discord to see if it's answered there. Or if not, you can always ask us in the Ask a Organizer channel. Yep, let's go.
Okay. So the very first question we have is, does everyone in the team have to submit the game? So no. So just one person in the team has to create a game project on the GGJ website, and you can submit the game onto that game project page anytime during the jam. So what happens is you have to add the rest of your members to the game project. So we will be posting more details on our FAQ on Discord, so you can refer for to know exactly how you should do it. Okay, so to the next question.
Right, so I heard about diversifiers from last year's game jam. May I know more? Yeah, Gwen also mentioned this during her talk about about diversifiers. So basically, they're a list of optional challenges created by the game jam that might help inspire your game. So they might be a specific theme or a challenge for you to add into your game. So you can check this by going, when you create your placeholder game, they have a list all written there, and you can just go scroll through and look. You can choose up to 4 for your game.
Okay, so the next question. Can I make a tabletop game, and how do I showcase it? So yes, you're allowed to make any type of game. So it doesn't need to be only a video game that we accept. So how can you upload it? So knowing that a tabletop game would be a non-digital game, so what you need to submit are the rules, the components, you can mention what they are, and just photos and videos and whatever assets you've made. And have a video if possible of how the flow of how to play your game. So once again, we'll have more details on our Discord on the FAQ channel.
What must I prepare for the presentation? So we don't have any hard requirements for what you should have, but we strongly recommend that you prepare a 2 to 3 minute video where it has all the gameplay features or whatever it is you want to show off, because we have quite a short time restraint. So if you just try to set up your game on during the presentation itself, you might not have enough time. And we don't have any restrictions on what you should talk about either, but so feel free to talk about anything you want to particularly show off for your game. We will also be posting a whole document with our guidelines and recommendations of what you should present for your game as well. So wait for that to be posted.
All right, so that's the end of our Q&A session. So if you all have more questions, do feel free to continue to post on the Discord server. So we have a channel, Ask an Organizer. So you can post your questions there. And I know y'all can't wait to start jamming. So yes, please go start jamming. And I hope y'all enjoy the game jam. Look forward to seeing y'all at the closing.
Thank you for joining us.
Yes. Okay, bye everyone.